me share with you the concept of wealth dynamics. And I want to give you some context around this so that you will understand it. There's a good friend of mine actually lives here in Bali these days. But when he was in India 10 years ago, and his name's Roger, when Roger was in India 10 years ago, he was reading the I Ching. The I Ching, for those of you that are unaware of it, is probably the oldest complete book in the world. Probably the period texts are older. But the I Ching comes out of China. It's called the Book of Changes. And the Book of Changes was multi-authored. A lot of people contributed to the book. Confucius edited the book in around about 500, 1500 BC. I can't remember the exact number right now. And what it is it's a book that talks all about the elements. It talks about the vibration and it talks about the energy of the universe. And in 1920, a man by the name of Carl Jung was the understudy to Sigmund Freud. And Sigmund Freud was that psychologist at the time. And Carl Jung didn't believe anymore what Freud was saying. Freud was saying that if your father is a wife basher, then you will be a wife basher. And Jung said, no, that's not true. We don't get those genes from our parents. So he started disassociating himself from that. And he started to go and do some other studies. And one of the things he read was a translation, which was brand new. It was the first and still the most complete translation of the I Ching by a man that he knew by the name of Richard Wilhelm. And Richard Wilhelm had spent the last 25 years in China. He was a German guy, and he'd been living in China for 25 years, and he'd studied under the I Ching masters of the time. And it's absolutely phenomenal to me, and I know that many of the cultures in this room have their sacred texts as well that have escaped many years of being thrown out by the rulers, the sultans, the dictators that were in their countries, that have been saved through the book burnings of many, many hundreds, if not thousands of years. Some of those sacred texts have survived, and the I Ching is one of them that has totally survived. So Wilhelm wrote this translation in German, which was Jung's native tongue. And Jung took the version of the I Ching and he studied it, and he realised that one of the things that it shared was that it shared that people are different and how people are different. These days we'll call it personality profiling. If you've ever worked for a corporate, they've probably done a Myers-Briggs indicator, a DISC indicator, told you you're a pheasant, a butterfly or some other type of animal, and they've tried to put you in a box, which is called personality profiling. And it's been very, very useful for corporates over the years. And Jung was the first person that wrote all that material that's now in the Myers-Briggs, DISC indicators, etc. And he wrote it in the 1920s. But when Roger was in India, around about 10 years ago, and he was reading Jung's version of and the work of Wilhelm in the I Ching, he realised that they missed something. And what they missed is applying all of that to wealth. So for the last 8 years, myself and one other gentleman have been the two main trainers of this all around the world, and I want to share it with you today because for me, it totally changed my life. And I always thought I wanted to be CEO of a really large corporate. And once I got to the level below that, general manager reporting to the CEO of a really large corporate, I realised I actually didn't like it. In fact, I didn't enjoy going to work at all. In fact, over the last year of my corporate life, getting out of bed was like this. As a matter of fact, what I get my secretary to do was book me lunch with somebody I liked and then afternoon drinks with somebody I liked even more so that I could actually make the day fun. And then what I used to do is fly all around the world looking at different things for the company because at least that entertained me. And then I realised that as a corporate, nothing I did actually mattered except for one thing. That when the ultimate decision came of what I had to do, all I had to do was get that decision right. And then everything just happened anyway because everybody else took care of it. So I realised that I was superfluous. In other words, I didn't need to be there. It was crazy. They were paying me a lot of money to fly around the world and have lunches and drink with people. And a lot of corporates do that. And so I left corporate life to become an entrepreneur. And when I did that, I did what a lot of people have done, and you've probably done this as well, is that I looked at what my friends were doing that were in business, and one of my friends was making a lot of money in construction. And he seemed to be doing really well. I thought, what he's doing is cool. I'm going to go do that. So I went and started up a construction company. And after 6 months in the construction company, I was like this. Oh, there's too many staff. Oh, there's too many problems. Yet my friend who owned the construction company is like, hey, how you doing? You want to go to lunch? For him it was easy. For me it was really hard. But we both had a similar background. He was from financial services as well as me. So I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how it could be so easy for him and so hard for me. Until I learned this. And when I saw this, I realised immediately, Mike, you are on the wrong path. Everything that you've been doing in your life up to now is wrong. Not saying I wasn't successful. I was pretty successful. But it was wrong. Why was it wrong? Because I wasn't enjoying it. Because I wasn't really giving it 100%. Because I didn't leap out of bed and go, wow, I'm so looking forward to today. I can't wait to see what happens. Like this morning, I know none of you were up because I was up at 5:30 going for a walk around the resort. I didn't see one person. And what I was thinking about, what am I going to do today? It's going to be so cool. I'm going to make new friends. I'm going to, learn from people. I'm going to experience something I've not experienced before. This is so cool. And my business partner wrote to me last night. We were on Skype together. And he said, have a good day tomorrow. And I said, I'm a little apprehensive because I've not met any of these people before. And normally people pay me to come and see me. That's how it normally works with me. So for me to actually come here and get paid to do a talk is very unusual for me. So I said, I'm a little apprehensive. And he said, Mike, you've been flying internationally to Bali to talk to 300 plus wealthy people from around the world at a very, very globally leading progressive companies convention. You are at the top of your industry. And I thought he's right. And so I was, that's cool. I'm going to play with this. I don't really have any attachment to what happens today and tomorrow because I'm just going and playing and having fun. Just as the same place as when Glenn hit that crash test dummy with everything he had, he didn't have any attachment to the reading. He just wanted to have fun and hit a crash test dummy. And so when you are operating in your flow, when you are doing something that you are destined and being born to do, when you understand why you're doing it, it's fun. I don't have a job anymore. As a matter of fact, I could have retired years ago. I don't do this to make money. I make money so I can do this. And that's what I want you people to have. For yourselves. I want you to be in the absolute flow as you're building your businesses, as you're doing whatever you're doing with Virgin Gold. And I know the different ones of you that I've spoken to are doing some quite different things. I want you to experience, and I'm going to share with you, I think tomorrow morning, some really cool things you can apply straight away that are going to help you get right into flow and make it really exciting for you when you go back to work. I don't do anything that I don't want to do. And what should you? So let's have a look at wealth dynamics. It's based on the concept of value and leverage. Everything single one of you bring value to something. We all have different value. One of my values is that I can speak well. That may not be your value. One of your values is you might be an incredible timer of investments. That's your value. One of my values is I'm very creative. I can come up with an idea a second. As a matter of fact, if I don't have 100 new ideas in a day, I'm wondering what's gone wrong. One of your values may be that you never come up with a new idea. But when you see somebody else's idea, boy, it can be taken to another level. So that's the concept of value. The concept of leverage is to either magnify, in other words, make something bigger, or multiply what you already have. So the concept of value and leverage in creating wealth is add some value, leverage that value, add some more value, leverage that value. Let me give you a very specific example so you understand this. There's your goal. The value, right there in front of the website, top left-hand corner is the price of gold. That's the value. Leveraging that value was initially starting in 1 or 2 countries. Then, okay, we've got the gold. We're now here in 1 or 2 countries. We're doing some mining here. So what more value can we add? Oh, let's add some value in the way of people. So let's get some great people. So now some great people come on board. Oh, how are we going to leverage that value? Let's send some of them, which has happened to some of you in the room, I know, let's send some of them to a new market to open up that market. And some of you have moved from one country to another country to do this. So that's taking value and leveraging it. Then more value comes in by the way of technology, make things more simple, make technology to get the stuff out of the ground, to get it to market, etc., etc. That's more leverage, more markets. It's the concept of adding value and then leveraging the value. This event that you're at is leverage.